What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the Modern House number 3, also known as Niclous's Bane, I think? That last part I'm a little iffy on. So yeah, as the name implies, fairly self-explanatory, this is a modern house. And I thought this was a really cool idea. Because it kind of harkens back a little bit to, like, actually a lot of, like, the Minecraft inspiration series from Corellis, which is actually what inspired me to do a series like this. So I thought it was a very, you know, a very conceptception type thing, which was pretty neat. And it actually looks really cool, too. I did make a little bit of an error on pasting it in, but I just decided to kind of go with it. These little platforms that hold the pedestal lights should be actually under the ground, as you can see over here, but I kind of had it angled just a little bit off, but that's just something to note. So yeah, we've got a little landing pad here, which is cool, and if I show the blueprint here, you can see that it actually does have a conveyor system running under there as well, so even if it's underground, it's still connected to everything. I believe the description says that it is survival ready in the sense of, like, it has everything conveyored and connected up and everything, as we just saw. I don't know if that means it actually has everything available, like assemblers, refineries, all that stuff. It may. There was also a description note that said there was something about, there being some small rotor head grids, which is probably to do some of this kind of stuff, which would have an issue or something in survival, so it was best to paste it in a creative form, and then I guess do like a survival, and then switch the world over to survival, I guess. That's my understanding of it. This is really cool, too. This is another example of the small rotor head trick to get a small grid onto a large one and make a hot tub. But it's really, really cool. I like it. Like, especially this outer edge. We've got the step thing here, and the, like, panel work kind of thing, which is a really cool touch. I really like that. I'm assuming that's blast door block. Yeah. Which gives you the nice little groove in between each one. That's a really nice little touch, though. I wanted to do this one. Some people may be wondering because it's not a typical, like, ship or even base, but as the name of the inspiration thing implies, I really like finding new techniques to do things. Like pools and stuff as projectors and having a little step there and things like that. So yeah, this one, even though it may not be crazy, what's the term? I keep wanting to say realistic, but it's not realistic. It's like, basically, they're probably more practical. There we go. It's probably not the most practical base to have, but it does have a lot of cool little things. For example, this I really like. I really like some of the lighting things, using the interior pillars with a light on top of it, this glass from the top, but leaving the second part open. This is a nice touch, too, for a chimney. We've got... okay, that's going to end up being a rotor or something, or a thruster that's broke under there, but that's a nice touch, too, of putting a block over top of it, so you don't actually see the thruster. And then surrounding it in glass, they put a light there to give it a bit more of a mood light kind of thing. And I like this staggered pillar lighting and stuff too. That's a really nice modern touch. Couch looks cool. I like that too. What are these for? Poolside lights. Oh, okay. Living room lights. That turns them off. I don't know if these were on or off by default. Okay, still not really sure. Poolside lights. This is pool lights. Okay, so I think they're on by default. And then pillar lights are going to be these. But yeah, I really like the overall design. It's a really neat take on, because to me anyway, I've always had issues with lighting in Space Engineers kind of getting in the way. Not that it was dark or something, but just it always seemed to be in my way. And so I think that definitely... Oh, entrance light. So this is the main front door type thing, I guess. Again, really cool modern style. Like it. You can see a little bit that I had the angle wrong, which is why those are still sticking out. But yeah, overall, I mean, the building structure is cool too. It's a definite showcase of some modern designs and things, but overall, I really liked a lot of the little detailed stuff. It was pretty cool. Hangar doors, interior light for the garage. Okay. Oh, there's the assemblers. Okay, so there's assemblers, oxygen tank, oxygen generator. I still haven't seen a refinery, but it's I think I heard it, though. It's probably in here somewhere. And these steps always get me every single time because they look, to me, they look too steep. And yet you still can climb them in the game without your jetpack or anything. So that always gets me. I'm like, where's the ramps? Where's the step? Ooh, that's neat. Once again, got an example of some modern architecture going on. Upstairs lights. Here's the med bay and the bedroom with your TV and your... Well, I think that's the bedroom. Yeah, that's a bed. Ever since I got that one desk confused with a bed, you know, now I gotta make sure, double check. Oh, so it's a two-bedroom. Two-bedroom, no bath? Is that what it is? Unless this is considered the bath. Maybe. I have no idea. It's totally RPing it. It really doesn't matter. Anything out here? This is kind of the top balcony type area, which is cool that you can just walk out here. Yeah, I really like it. I really think it's cool. I think it's neat. It almost reminds me a bit, like if you were to paste this into a survival world or something like that, up on a hill or something, it almost reminds me a little bit, particularly this top part where it's just got an open window to a balcony, of that house from Oblivion with Tom Cruise, where it's like a post-apocalyptic and they have like one person on Earth kind of thing, or one house type of thing. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit, this upper area here. And just the fact that it's like this random nice house on like an open world. Anyways. I did not see a refinery, but I don't know that there isn't one somewhere. I don't see it coming up, so maybe it doesn't. But yeah, overall I really like just some of the decorating and detailing techniques kind of thing, so I wanted to show it off, and it just looked really cool overall. I like the whole luxury within a survival game kind of thing. I mean, it started in like Minecraft and stuff, and probably games before that too, but where you have, the point is to build like a wooden shack and survive, and then you have, you know, somebody that builds one of these kinds of things where it's got a hot tub in and stuff. I always love that kind of stuff. Alright, so on that note, I think we're gonna wrap this one up, and let's move on to the next one. Oh, and there's solar panels on top too. That makes sense. That's useful. Alright, yeah, on to the next one. Okay, maybe not quite on to the next one just yet. I totally forgot about this, which was a dining room area, an outdoor table area. Small terrace. Ah. And it has a overhanging little lights thing, which I thought was pretty cool too, but this is another one of those where you put a small rotor head on a large one and stuff like that to make a smaller grid. But I like this too. They've got like little plates and pots and pans and things. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, now we're moving on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the Space Station Atlantis, or SSA for short. So this is actually supposed to be a civilian space station, I believe. However, the thing is heavily armored. Literally, as far as I know, according to the description, all of this is heavy armor. And it's also got a shield mod added to it, to where it has shields as well. So, may not really be a military installation per se, but it is kind of a semi-fortress type of thing from the sounds of things. So yeah, it looks really cool actually, and according to the description it looks a little bit smaller from the outside because it's kind of just the big asteroid and stuff. Ooh, it's got 2 nanite factories. Nice. Very, very cool. Alright, so, and this looks like a bunch of cargo containers, so this is probably the storage section area. And we've got a couple of small hangar, or docking bays, I should say, not really hangar. I do like this. This is a little touch. It's a little thing. Never mind. Couldn't figure out if my jetpack was on or off. But I like these little arches. Even though they're essentially just there for decoration kind of thing. I don't see any real point or purpose. There's no connectors or anything. But they're just kind of cool looking. It adds a little detail to it. I'm not 100% sure, but you may also notice this ship, which I believe is Dante something or other. I forget the name of this one. I'm pretty sure I've actually showcased this ship before. I think. I'm not 100%, but it looks really familiar and it looks really cool, which means I've probably seen it before and used it for one of the episodes prior. Really, really neat though. I like this little connection type thing. I do feel like it might need one more little catwalk panel there, but that's probably because if you did that, the ship block grid would get damaged or something when you try to dock with it, so that makes sense. Yeah, so let's dive in. I should have read what that was first. Okay, apparently it doesn't really help. Oh, there we go. So I must have just double tapped it. There we go. Alright, we're in. It's probably a script that I've royally screwed up now, to be honest. It's probably one of those timer blocks that's supposed to do one and then the other, and I just totally messed it up. It would not surprise me in the least. We got a gravity generator here, a couple of large reactor. Actually, no, that's one of those arc reactor things. That's not even... This is a modded file, obviously, but it is a world file, so you don't really need to worry about which mods to use unless you were trying to re-import it back into another of your own worlds or something. But yeah, so overall, I like it so far. I like that everything is heavy armor, too. It has a different look that I'm not used to seeing, quite honestly. I believe... So this is a glass elevator, but I believe the mod description, or not the mod, the file description in the workshop made it sound like they were having some issues with this for some reason. So we may have to circumvent it. I'm not really sure. One thing I see is it's like not letting me into this block space. It's like there's a block there. So since the builder said they were having issues with it, I think we're just gonna try and take it out, because we don't actually need it with our jetpackery. But yeah, so that's something you would have to note. So now we get into the interior, which is quite spacious by the looks of things. I like the added little, kind of talking about like the first one with luxury in survival aspects. I like the little potted plants and stuff. It makes it look like it's more established and more luxurious, you know. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. I feel as though that's some kind of glitch in the main game. It's been happening a lot to me lately, but there's nothing really like wrong with the lights. It just seems to be at certain points it like turns them off or something from view, and it causes a flickering effect. We've got cryo chambers out the wazoo for apparently all of the people that are going to be staying here. I did like in the description, there was a part that was describing that the interior, and there was like a waiting room kind of thing, which is probably this right here, for in case your flight was delayed for, you know, like a year or 3. And I was like, that's pretty funny. Oh, I like these stairs too. This must be a newer mod. I don't think I've run across this before. Stairwell. Yeah, I definitely have never run across that before. That must be a newer mod. That's pretty cool. Continuing the interior, we've got a billiard-style room over here. So this looks to be a little bit more of like, almost like an airport kind of station. Where this is essentially a big waiting room kind of thing. I don't know that there's, while the interior is actually pretty spacious in terms of being roomy, I don't know that there's actually any more interior to see overall. I thought there might be, but again, thinking back on the screenshots and stuff, it really didn't show any other areas, so I don't think we missed anything. But yeah. So anyways, this was actually a kind of interesting one because I picked it out on my own when I saw it and stuff. I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool looking place, especially the exterior with the various different areas and stuff in the cool space dock kind of thing. Then I also received a comment from Restart that suggested it as well, and so that was kind of one of those, like, you know, great minds think alike kind of thing. I was already on my way to using this one anyway. That said, I did want to bring up, I brought it up in my Let's Play Space Engineers series, but I haven't brought it up in this one. I am trying. I can't guarantee that I'll be doing any better at it, but I am trying to do a little bit more at actually giving shoutouts to people, instead of just saying, you know, it was suggested or certain people said kind of thing. So, you know, it's kind of an active effort on my part to try and be more interactive, I suppose. But just kind of an FYI, you'll probably start hearing more actual shoutouts and stuff here in the future episodes of different series and things, just to kind of give credit where credit's due. If there was a good suggestion or something like that, I want to, you know, make more of an effort to actually acknowledge the people that are contributing, kind of thing. So yeah, I just figured this ship was here, so I might as well walk through it a little bit. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, but I am pretty sure that I showcased this ship before. I really think I did. The interior here does not look as familiar to me as I expected it to, but I really feel like I showed this off before, and if not, I should have, because this is a really cool... It's a very creepy sound effect. That's super creepy. Let me out of the experimental torture room. That's kind of what it looks like. Like, that's where we make the androids. That's gonna be an airlock. That's an airlock. I don't know if I have shown this or not. I still think some kind of door like this needs to be in the main game. Still think that. I really don't know if I showed this one off or not. The exterior makes me think I did. The interior confuses me and makes me wonder if I did. I don't know. You guys can let me know. I'm pretty sure I did at some point. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the last one. Okay, so last but not least, we have the Silent Watcher. Now, this ship is a little bit of an interesting one because it was originally designed in Empyrean and then was brought over by a different user to Space Engineers, which did this file. So it's kind of a little bit of an interesting take because as it was noted in the description, Empyreon has some different blocks that Space Engineers doesn't have by default, and this is a modless build, I believe. So, you know, it makes it a little bit interesting because they had to do some different changes or kind of spin it a different way while trying to keep it kind of the same. Overall, though, I like the look of the ship. It definitely... I could definitely see this being an Empyreon ship, because I see a couple things like the cockpit type thing. I'm not sure, but I could see that being one of the cockpit designs or something like that. There's a few places where I can kind of look and see a little bit of like what was probably there in Empyreon. More importantly, in some of the screenshots of the interior and stuff, it looks that way too. But it's still a cool ship, even if you didn't know that little nugget of information. Though it has a pretty cool design to it. It does have solar panels, and it can land on planets, though I believe the description made a comment about if you're going to do that, kind of do it quick, because the hydrogen tanks that it uses for landing on the planet is basically going to drain really quickly. So yeah, here we've got the oxygen generator, some cargo stuff, conveyors. What else we have? What else? We have vents, batteries, interior pillar holding everything up on that, you know, that one pillar. This looks like a programmable block. Yep. Which I'm not sure. Oh, that was, see, like that was probably a console decoration block in Empyreon, I would imagine. Let's see. Oh, there's also doors on the side here. That's cool. That's good to know. These would be a little unsafe to use in space, though. It would kind of like vent everything up into the cockpit, too. So that's something you'd have to be careful of. Main lights. Does that turn them on or off? Off. I never can tell if people have the lights on as default, so that's why I always click the button, and it usually is at this point. I'm kind of getting that idea. Watch, this one won't be now. Engineering lights. Nope, they were. Okay. Alright, we have cryo chambers, emergency power. Oh, okay, that's a reactor for emergency power. A couple of med bays, a jump drive. So it actually has quite a bit of... Oh, and there's the refinery. And assembler. Okay. And a couple of timer blocks, some more conveyors. A remote block and a projector. I'm not really sure what that's for. I don't know if you can get back there or not, but the reactor stuff looks pretty cool back there, not gonna lie. It's like ominous red glow and everything. Yeah, I really like the look. The look's pretty cool. It definitely has a utility kind of feel. But as I've said before, it has enough of that clutter that it makes it kind of feel like something you could actually see being a legitimate ship. Let's see what... That's not the main cockpit. I don't actually know what that's for. Let's see. What do we got here? We have rocket launchers, weapons. Okay. Spotlights, ions, hydrogen thrusters, atmosphere thrusters, boosters, which I'm guessing are extra hydrogen ones. Jump drive 2. Oh, there's 2? That's interesting. I didn't know there was 2. Okay. Alright, so let's see how it flies. I thought to myself a second ago, well, I haven't really been testing out how these things have been flying, and then I realized that my 2 builds were a house and a station, so they don't really have flight capability. Ooh, it turns really nice. It turns very, very nice. And actually, it doesn't speed up too bad either. I wonder how it would do with the boosters. Let's try that. So if we turn these on... important to note, they are not overridden thrusters, because I wasn't sure with verbiage like boosters. I'm never sure if like you just turn them on and they're just active, but they're not. But with the boosters active, yeah, this speeds up really nice and it turns really well. Though, given the statements of the atmospheric, or not, the hydrogen tanks issues, you may want to use those sparingly if you were actually using it in your own world. But yeah, overall, I really like it. It's a cool little ship. Complete with rocket launchers. Who doesn't love a good pair of rocket launchers? Alright. So on that note, ooh, weird camera glitch. I think we're going to wrap things up here for this episode. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.